for people who are watching, explain to them how was the first event? What was your experience like with Heroes on the Mat?
It was incredible. I didn't really know what to expect. I've done quite a few super fights, but I honestly, it was the most fun. It was the most supportive, most respectful event I've ever done. Like, of course, there's it's cool how they split up like blue on one and red on the other, and it's kind of at the bar that we were at the upstairs. Um, so you can kind of look down the hallway and kind of like try to find your opponent, and like everybody's kind of got their mean mug face on, like sizing them up, like, oh, look at that guy, like that's my opponent. And then, which is typical before any sort of encounter. um but then, when you're watching the fights, and then when you're in the cage there, and then after, like, and even the crowd is, everyone's just happy to be there. Like, of course they have their favorite fighter, their brother, their sister. Actually, I don't know if there's any women. Oh, there was, yeah. One girl got that sick knee bar.
Yep.
Um,
Yep, she did. Yeah.
So, yeah, whether you're, your brother, your sister, your dad, uncle, whatever, your friend, someone from your department, like, everyone was so supportive of everybody, because it's Heroes on the Mat. Like, there's no bad characters there. Everyone there has a duty that's bigger than themselves, that has a responsibility, and this is kind of their outlet to show something that they care about. And and the crowd was the same way. Everyone was so thankful, to be there and support. Like, no one knew. I had my fiance and my friend, John, who lives on Long Island, who came to like corner me, like, on a whim. I was like, "Yo, bro, I'm gonna be coming up like tomorrow. Are you free?" And he's like, "Yeah, I've got you." And and then I still had people like cheering for me and stuff. So it was really cool. And like I said, I've done quite a few super fights, and no one, it's not really like that. Like, I feel like I'm pretty entertaining. People have always told me I put on a good show. So I gained, fans within the event, I think, when I'm there. But to just be cheered right off the bat, because, like, this guy's in the Navy, like, to just be supported from the Navy vets or Navy people in the crowd or whatever, it's very cool, very cool. So, it's not just like Joe Schmo from Gym X versus
Yeah.
Johnny Nobody from Gym B. Like, these are, you represent an entire organization, whether it's a military branch or police department or whatever. So it was very cool.
Yeah. I keep trying to explain it to people how it's like testosterone fueled, like awesomeness, like very exciting, but it's also extremely wholesome at the same time, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. I meant to say that, or I wanted to say that. So I think before, I don't know if I said this in the first appearance, but I remember I talked about it quite a bit with some of my friends and coaches and like training partners. I'm not small. I'm like 215 right now. The first one, I think, because I had those two fights, one was like 204, the other was like 216 or something. And they're both cops. Like, this is like, these guys are strong. Like, they're
I've trained with both of them. They're both
yeah.
in my department. They are
Oh,
not weak.
okay.
They
Yeah,
are not weak.
and I was like, these are both big, strong guys. They're gonna be super aggressive. They're not gonna quit. Like, this is not just this is more than just a battle of like endurance and skill. Like, there's gonna be aggression and strength in there. Um, this is gonna be, fun. Like, this is gonna be entertaining for everybody, including me. Like, I had such a blast with both of those guys. It was awesome, but it was just what I thought. And they're both like super strong, super aggressive, and I love that. But I was glad that I knew that was going to come up. I mean, I'm the same way, of course, but I feel like probably every match I watch, like, these guys are aggressive. Like, there's heart out there too. Like,
Big
there's
time.
grit. There's grit. There's no one out there is a quitter. Everyone out there has endured something shitty, I'm sure, multiple times. Um, whether it's themselves or they saw something. Like, everyone out there is tough, mentally and physically. So these matches, and I think that adds to the whole like atmosphere and environment of the fights. And then it's at the bar too, so people are able to drink and get a little rowdy. There's such high energy, but just high testosterone, but so positive and respectful at the same time. Like there was no like shit talking or anything like that. It was at least not that I saw. So yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, for the shit talking that did exist, it was like friendly banter. There was
Right.
a whole,
Yeah.
there was like an Instagram feud. This NYPD guy, I think he was a K9 cop, and another dude from Jersey. They just went wild. Like, yeah, the memes that came out of it. My goodness, they were
Yeah.
freaking
Well, I think that
hilarious.
probably makes a little more sense. Me being like from Virginia and in the Navy, it's probably maybe I'm blind to that or whatever. Or no one's just like, I don't know this guy, or I don't have beef with Virginia. I'm sure there's probably some New Jersey, New York like headbutting, right? I would imagine.
Yeah, big time, big
Yeah.
time. I mean, listen, the new event that's coming up in August, all the Jersey guys, especially the ones that are like avenging their teammates that lost in like first two events. I'm sure there's a ton of it.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what's crazy? I never knew, but New Jersey has some extremely high level jujitsu,
Really?
and it's very very abundant. Like I always thought the Mecca was like, John Danaher, the Blue Basement, New York City, Marcello. Like you had that hub, and then you had like a couple of spots like Jersey, like Long Island, and then if you go down the coast, you had like a few spots here and there. I did not realize that just New Jersey in general has like very high level jujitsu. Because I've been interviewing a couple other people that were on the last card that are on this card, and they're explaining what gyms they're from and like the lineage from the gym. I'm like, no shit, like get out of here, no
Huh.
way. Did not know that a lot of people fly from Brazil and they just land in the New York, New Jersey area. Like I had
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah.
Florida, California, I feel like those three spots, and then like anywhere like those states surrounding or like on the coast, super high level jujitsu. It's interesting to see, um, like where the hot spots are for sure. But this next event, you have your new opponent.
Hmm.
Do you know who he is yet, or
No,
okay?
I saw the photo. Joe told me, this is who I got for you. He's like, I think this is gonna be a good one. Um, yeah, like I don't know. He's big. I saw that because he's private. I don't follow him, but um, I saw the collaboration thing he did with Heroes on the Mat Instagram posts. I'm like, that is a big man. So, and I saw the post. He was like talking about his sponsors. One of them was like a nutrition, talking about how he's like cut down to 225. I'm like, because I'm looking at them like they're that guy. Like, well, I
Damn
don't
it.
know what scale you're using, bro, but you're not 225. I'm like 215, 210 right now. So I was like, damn, maybe I need to eat some more. But no, I'm just kidding. I just fight it wherever I weigh at. I don't care. But yeah, so it's gonna be fun. He's like, it's gonna be tough, but that's why it's for the belt. So then I'm pumped. This will be my first like for a belt anything. So I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's very
Actually,
cool.
I know it's gonna be good.
For the people watching, like if they're gonna watch or if they're thinking about signing up, what was it like grappling in a cage as opposed to like typical tournament style? Very, very, very different, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's neat because you walk up the stairs and like you're elevated, so you're above everyone else. Usually, like you're below. Then jujitsu is obviously a ground sport, so even like on a normal mat, or you're already like level with everyone, or even below, depending on like if there's bleachers or whatever. And then you're on the ground, so now everyone's kind of looking down at you. Now it's kind of everyone was looking up at you. So that was neat. Not that it plays a difference, but it's just a different thing to be aware of. Um, and then the rules with the cage, I got confused at one point. I thought the ref was going to reset us, so I kind of relaxed a little bit. That's completely my fault. I should have just kept doing my thing until he stopped it. But I remember at one point I almost had like a good. I was going for like a back take submission, and I like loosened up, and he got free of it because I was like, I'm about to get reset. So I I would say that if we do it in a cage again, or anytime you're in a cage and and there's you can't use the cage, it's literally an out of bounds thing. It's not in play. to just keep doing what you're doing. Like, so I'll lesson learned there for that, because I've done plenty of wall work and cage work before, so I was comfortable with it. I just thought in the rule set that I couldn't use it. So, but yeah, it's definitely different. But jujitsu is jujitsu.
Right. Yeah. I saw a lot of the matches, especially the last two events, the stand up is a lot more exciting than typical jujitsu matches because you could go to the wall, and if you go to the wall and the ref does reset you, you're getting reset in the middle. Or if you're in a certain position, obviously you're going to get reset in that position. But if nobody's gone to the ground yet, it almost forces the takedown. And I don't want to say it penalizes like guard pulling, but there's no way you're pulling guard in a cage like that just half-assed. Like it has to be part of your game. Like
Yeah,
if you're gonna pull guard and it's part of your game and that's what you do and you do it well, yeah, it could definitely work for you. I think I saw like one or two matches where somebody pulled guard and I was like, oh wow, I was like that was very slick the way he or she did that.
yeah.
But
I'm not a guard puller by any means, but um, there's definitely an art to pulling guard, especially in a cage. And then I did a pit fight too. I'll talk about that. Like, people that pulled guard in a pit is like, this did not go well for them. Even if
no,
you're good,
no,
it's
no,
just,
yeah,
yeah,
big
it's
time.
like you don't. That's not a place you want to pull guard,
Yeah.
um, and you don't want to really.
Was it a pit with the slanted walls or
Yeah, and it was small,
oh,
like
oh
especially
wow.
for like if you go on my Instagram, you can see there's a video of it, but it's just two mats, like it's flat, and then it's the mats off the side, so it gets real small real fast, and basically I took him down, and like he didn't get back up, like I just honestly I tortured him for like 3 minutes before I got the sub on the back, but like he couldn't move, and he's um I didn't know. I didn't research. I don't look up my opponents anymore. I just trust myself and my game, because before I'd get in my head and then just don't do it anymore. It's just my own policy. But some people are like, dude, that was sick. Like everyone calls him Tito. Like Tito's a phenomenal wrestler. Like he's really good. And I was like, oh really? Like didn't seem like it. But I think it was just the pit. Like it's so hard to get up if you're on your back, or on your belly or side or whatever. So. Um, it's yeah, like we watched other people. Amy was with me. We watched people pull guard, and she's like, "That's not what you want to do in there." And I would imagine it's the same in the cage. Like you don't want to be on your back, because if you scoot up to the wall, then now you're you're getting stuck by two different things that aren't moving. Or worse, the cage might move a little bit, and it just takes out, absorbs your energy. So
I was gonna say
yeah,
you got leverage. You got nothing to
yeah,
kick off on, nothing
and
to bring off of.
yeah. So, and again, I'm not a guard puller, so maybe there's a way to mitigate all that, but from where I stand, like there's not. And you do not want to be on the bottom.
Yeah, it was interesting to see a lot of the like how a lot of the matches played out. It was whoever got top position and could hold it was basically like clearing a path to victory. A lot of times, unless the guy or the girl gets a good sweep, but the thing is, if you nail a sweep, like you better not be up against the cage now because you cut off 50% of your working window. Like you can get into side control, that's fine, but once you get into side control, the whole if you're up against the cage, the whole half of the body is
Yeah,
gone. Can't,
yeah.
you can't snatch an arm, spin around, arm bar, like can't do any of that. Very interesting to see how it's been playing out, but it's interesting. You did a pit. I always wanted to even just like roll or like have like a session like in one of those pits. That's like the new thing now. I see. It's I have a question actually. Have you seen the new promotion like the UFC BJJ?
I haven't watched. I've seen like highlights from different people I follow on Instagram, but I haven't watched anything yet. But that one's pretty big. The one I was in was like a hole in the ground. Like it was small. So, but yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was
Nice.
it was gnarly, but I know what you're talking about. I think that honestly, I love that idea, because then you don't have people like rolling out of bounds and getting hurt on like concrete or running into tables and
Yeah,
stuff.
you see
I
a
think
lot.
it's just a lot. I think it's a lot safer, and honestly, it's more entertaining for the crowd and the fans, and then they can kind of go around the pit and not have to worry about anything. So yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like this is continues to be a trend, but there's so much momentum just in jujitsu in general. Like you see the Craig Jones Invitational, still ADCC and everything like always, but now UFC has their own BJJ promotion, signing athletes. You got celebrities like training.
Yeah.
Yeah, a whole bunch of people. Oh, this
Been,
one.
yeah, I've been saying for like since I started, really like 2 years ago is when I really got into it. It's like this has got to be the fastest growing sport, like because people jujitsu is for everybody. Like you got people who go in there for like once a week, get a sweat in, hang out with their friends. They're joking around basically more than they're training, all the way up to the people like me. Like I treat this like as like my job. I train 2 times a day when I can, and then I roll on the weekends too. So like, it- and there's people who do way more than me, like who work at the gym. They're training, out a couple hours a day, um, who are trying to compete at the highest level. I mean, I am too. That's my goal with this is the next couple of years, just see how far I can go. But yeah, it's really for anybody, any age. There's a couple people at the gym I go to that have like disabilities. Like there's a guy in a wheelchair comes in and his legs don't work, but so it's literally for everybody. You don't have to. I was talking to someone the other day. He's like, oh, I'm afraid to go in there and like get my ass beat. I was like, well, it's a martial art. That's what it's for. Like if you're afraid of it getting beat up, maybe you should go. You know, uh,
Bad as it looks like on highlight reels. Whenever people start training, they look up YouTube stuff, and I'm like, don't do that. And I was like, that's not. I was
yeah.
like,
And I'm like, oh, you're like really good. I don't want to roll with you. I'm like, but I am really good, like compared to you, because you don't know anything. So I'm not just gonna like throw you around and like inflate my ego like that. You want to roll with people who are good because they're not going to be a dick about it. They're going to help you out and they're not going to hurt you. So they're going to let you work or whatever. And jujitsu is just it can be a gentle art. Like no one's saying sign up and then hop in the cage against whoever and get ragdolled and thrown out. Like go do you're gonna I was like go to the fundamentals class, like learn how to pull guard and sit there on your back and not like get strangled. Like I don't
sometimes
know, just
the advanced class is almost safer than the fundamentals
I mean
class.
yeah, it is honestly.
Yeah,
Like there's some white belts and then some white belt women at the gym, and I remember it was a couple weeks ago, but she was like nervous to roll with a higher belt. And Diego, my coach, was some young white belt dude was like, I'll roll with you. And he was like, no. He's like, you're not, dude. She told her, she's like, do not roll with that guy. Like right in front of him. She's like, don't roll with him. Roll with him. She's like, yeah, but he's like a blue belt. He's like, exactly. Like, don't roll with that
that's
guy.
recipe for disaster.
Yeah. I mean, I hate rolling
Pressure.
with white belts now. Like,
Yeah,
I really do. Like I understand, like, unless they're like have an open mind, but you roll with like a white belt who's like wants to prove something, and you're just like, dude, I'm not getting anything out of this, and honestly, I'm in my selfish era of like training. Like, I don't want to roll with you because you're not good. You're not going to help me out. I don't want to help you out because I'm trying to train for an event. I'm always got an event on the horizon. I don't want to like hurt myself. I don't want to risk it. Like, go to the coach. I'll give you a pointer here and there if we end up rolling or drilling because we have to. Because I always want to train, but like I'm not going to go out of my way to go roll with a white belt. I've been hurt. Every time I've been hurt, it's been by like a spazzy white or blue belt. And then and if I see people now, I'll just be like, nah. Like you can call me arrogant if you want, but like it's just not worth it to me. I have a competition like every weekend in August. I'd have no time or patience to roll with someone who's not going to benefit me or who's going to, freaking hurt me because they're trying to prove something.
is that
Oh,
how because you've been training. I mean, you said you've been total training time has been what, like over 2 years, 2 years or so far.
2 years. Yeah. I
Would you?
like 2.5. I really like got into it. I did combatives training, like mostly with a kit and like body armor and stuff, and then a lot of wall stuff throughout work as a SEAL. But I did a lot of Muay Thai before, so I was kind of comfortable with the clinch. I knew some sweeps and stuff, but from standing, but not a whole lot. I didn't really get into jujitsu until December of 22, and I did it like once a week. Um, and then I would do like wall stuff for like MMA. That's all I would do. And then I went to a grappling industries tournament with my gym. I didn't even want to go. My friend was like, "Oh, go check it out. We want to get as many people as there we can for like points or whatever." And I was like, "All right, like fine." So I went. That was in April. It was April 29th, 2023. And I won my first match like super easily, completely gassed, but like it was easy. I was just I was so nervous. This is the time I was running like 6:15 miles for like 5 miles. Like my cardio was like on point. And I'm like, I just got gassed in 3 minutes. Like that's wild to me. Like what's going on?
It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah. And then I lost my second match, 19-0, and just like got smashed the entire time. And my coach was like, he was also a former SEAL, and he was just like, I was like, I'm not even mad. I'm just disappointed. He didn't talk to me for like 2 weeks.
Oh shit.
But I remember after I finished, I was so pissed off. I was like, that's never happening again. So basically, since April of 2023, this is like I try to. This is all I do, or try to have it be all I do. Like I said, I train twice a day. So my 2.5 years is not a normal 2.5 years. Plus, I feel like I learned this really fast compared to like other things that I've done throughout life.
Yeah, because I was gonna say for that time frame, like
Mhm.
your skills are very exceptional for a time frame of that. I was
Yeah,
gonna say for people, because a lot of people now, I mean, everybody looks up the hacks and is like, oh, how to get a black belt in 4 years, blah blah, blah, like all this bullshit. But I feel like the art of learning it is almost changing a little bit. Like it's like there's a whole different, like you have to have a good training philosophy to just learn it correctly. And what you were saying before about is you want to get something out of every training round. Like you want to have a goal going into every training round, as opposed
yeah,
to just going in there, ego smashing, blah blah blah. This, like, somebody could do that, like just going in rolling to win, like to just to boost your ego. Somebody could do that for 5 years, 5 days a week, or somebody could like intentionally train and like pick their partners carefully and go in with a goal like every session, and you could do like 5 days a week for 1 year, and you can like surpass the other guy, like
yeah, for sure.
crazy.
Yeah, the compounding thing of like if like yeah, exactly. Like if you go in 4 days a week, you know, and then you roll like on an open mat, and you're just like, okay, I'm just going to focus on the lesson today, and then when we do the rounds at the end, I'm just going to try to hit the submission because that's fresh in my mind. He knows what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. If I can hit it on him, like that's pretty good because he knows it's coming. And then just like make your goals small like that. And then at the open mat, if you go to that on like the weekend or whatever, like try to replicate what you learned throughout the week, or just pick something. And then at the end of every training session, get a journal. And I didn't do this for the first half or so that I started training last year, and then I got into it. Get like a journal and write down like as detailed as you can the lesson that you learned, and so you can, and then now you're getting another rep as you're writing it, and then you read it again, then you get like you just did that same thing once physically and then twice reading it and writing it. And then if you're on a plane or whatever, go through your journal and like play through that again. And if you want, like close your eyes and try to imagine it. And so that, and again, that training with that intention will compound. So you don't have to go from 5 or 6 days a week, like go 4 days a week. But now you just made up those extra sessions by reading your journal and playing it in your head. And then and then it's there. And then when you have open mat, there's no direction, there's no coach. It's just like slap, bump, go. You're like, okay, I'm going to do this.
Mm.
If you don't remember the lesson, like for me recently, I'm like, I love lower body attacks. So recently I'm like, I'm going to attack like the arms. Like I'm going to try this. I'm trying to, and then I'll like narrow it down. Like, all right, I got a couple different arms, random arm submissions. Like I'm going to get some sort of Kimura, where I'm going to get some sort of arm bar. Um, and then you just go from there. And then just like put limitations on yourself.
Mm.
Like I cannot attack the legs at all.
Yep.
Even if they're there, I cannot do it. Be your own coach, be your own, hold yourself accountable. Don't like, you roll with this spazzy athletic guy who's like, I can't grab his arms because he's too good, so I heel hook him. Well, yeah, the guy doesn't even know what a heel hook is.
Right.
So you're just holding his foot, pulling on it, and he's just staring at you like, what are you doing? And you're looking at him like, bro, tap or I'm going to blow your knee out. He's just like, I don't know what you're doing. And you're like, well, who's the idiot here now? Really? He doesn't know. You do. And so that's like, you just exposed yourself for having a hole in your game. You couldn't grab his arms. You couldn't choke him. So you had to go for his leg and he doesn't even know what he's doing. So if you do roll with those people, that like, you can't tap a spazzy white belt with his arms or whatever. Like maybe you're not as good as you thought you were.
Right.
So
You got
you
some shit
can,
to work on.
yeah. So you can always, you just always look for like the silver lining and keep that motivation, but keep yourself accountable. And if no one's going to do it for you, like no one's going to do it for you. So just like put your own boundaries up and work towards a certain thing, and you're that's how you progress. And
Mhm.
just stay aggressive. And different personalities, that means different things, but just stay aggressive and stay consistent in your will to learn and seek to roll with people who are going to crush you. And then with an open mind, don't get mad and like flip out. And the other thing is too is I tell people like and people always say this, but it's like just tap. If you're in a bad spot, or even if like you can't move, like sure maybe you can still breathe. They don't have your leg or whatever, but you're just getting smushed in side control. Like, oh, just tap,
Yeah.
reset. You know. And then if someone's doing that to you, they probably know it. Be like, hey, what's something I could do?
Yeah.
And just always look to learn. That way, when you go into the cage, you don't have to look up your opponent and be like, ooh, so and so, he's good at this. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
You put in the work, and like your holes, and so that's kind of how I approach the whole thing. Because like I feel like I train quite a bit, but I could train more. But that's what I tell that I was really kind of drawn out and rambled, but
No, but it makes. I was gonna say that the journal idea. I used to do that.
it's
I
hard.
did.
I honestly I stopped doing it for like 2 months, and I was like, I forget what because I list
You just
what I
reminded me
did.
of it. And I was like, shit, man, I have to get back into journaling. And it's kind of aligned with like your apparel philosophy. Look for work. Like when I'm not training, like, I should really be looking for things to improve on, even if I'm not on a mat. Like the off the mat training is like just as important.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then again, like that's an extra rep. That takes no energy. Just read your notes and just visualize it in your head.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
that counts. That counts as a rep.
Yes.
Like
Yep.
and you'll notice a difference. Like anytime, like when I was doing house clearances and stuff, it's like you go through the house, you make some mistakes, whatever, you get your debrief, and then you whiteboard it and you walk through the entire thing, and then
Mm.
you get back to your wherever, like when you're loading your mags or grabbing new like frags or whatever, you're just like you play the back, like okay, do this, and you can close your eyes and like do your scans and everything, like that counts, and then you do it again, and then you play it in your head, so it's already slowed down, and now you have to just go do it. And I've done that with so many things, whether it was swimming, push-ups, pull-ups, house clearances, setting charges on doors, jumping out of a plane, starting my purge for like before I dive. You play all that in your head like it's an extra rep.
Mm. Very, very interesting. I feel like people only think about it for certain things, but it could apply to almost everything, anything you're trying to learn.
Yeah, I'll give like a really like personalized experience that I when I was in breacher school, it was the last obstacle course um or stress course of the curriculum, and I went into my little like cage area and I ran through the entire thing, and I was in there for my whole routine was like 11 minutes. I timed it. Um, and I went through like every single thing. I didn't move, but I was just like, okay, I'm gonna run up to the door. I'm gonna pull out my 7 foot strip, and I just like I'm gonna pat it down. I'm gonna cap in. I'm gonna pull it. I'm gonna walk back. I'm gonna like call out, fire in the hole, 3, 2, 1, whatever, and then pull the pin, bang, boom, it goes off. I'm gonna sprint up there, take out my shotgun. I'm gonna put my 2 rounds in. I'm gonna go through the door. I'm gonna go out, and I just kept. I ran through every single thing, even to like taking it off the chain for the chainsaw. And like it's gonna be a mess because that's how the instructors do it. I'm gonna undo that. I'm gonna put it on, and I'd go through like the tiniest details, anything I can imagine, and then I would, I did that. One full time, and then I played through like each event, like okay, door charge, shotgun, blah blah blah, all the way through. And again, my first rep though, full rep was 11 minutes. I did the stress course in 14 because again, I've just sat in my cage with my eyes closed. So those extra 3 minutes was literally just me running from station to station because I'm
Uh,
not going to I didn't the only thing I didn't visualize was like running.
okay.
And it's like it was probably a little over a half a mile but like total. So and like I'm not trying to brag, but I guess I am. I did 14 minutes. The next fastest time ever, not just my class, but like ever before that was like 20 something.
Shit.
And like
Big
and
difference.
they're
Big
because
difference.
they were like anything under 20 minutes is like supreme. Like it's like not 21 to 22 is like really fast. 24 is like average.
Hmm.
I did in 14. And I mean, people are like, "How did you do that? Like, how did you?" It's like you knew what you were doing before everything was there. Like, it wasn't like you. Of course, you do it because it's a week 4 of the course. But like, how smooth it was is like you had done it before. I'm like, I did.
Mm.
Like, I did. I played it out in my head. So
Caliber.
I got the reps in. So and it's this and I don't need to do that anymore. But with that, but I do it with jujitsu, and I should do it with like a lot of other things. But visualization is crazy. I think Michael Phelps used to do it. He would visualize each stroke, like he would from like the locker room to walking out to the thing to the gun, like visualize the strokes down and back. Like look at his resume. Like so.
Most accomplished gold medalist in I think Olympics history.
Hold on 1 second.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
All right, I'm back.
No, you're good. I was gonna say my phone's at like 4%, so I was like, oh shit, we gotta get a sign off before we go.
Okay.
It's all right. Yeah, I know. I got stuff on the calendar. You got stuff on the calendar too. But um, so tell everybody what they should expect from your next match in August.
Well, it's at a high school, so I want that thing to blow up. Not literally, of
No,
course, but I want
no, I get it. I get it. I get it.
I want it to be like insane, and I think it will be. I think that this is going to be. Granted, this is only the third event that you guys have put on, but I think that this is going to be huge. I think that the momentum that you with this podcast and that Joe's doing, like, it's going to be sick. There's a couple belts on the line this time. Like, for me, of course, I feel like I always put on a good show and have a blast. Um, I'm sure this other guy does too. He's no slouch for sure. That's why Joe picked him because this is his first Heroes on the Mat. This is his debut. So if he's going for a belt, like he's definitely got something to offer. And then Will Lucian, I think you spoke with recently. He's one of my coaches up here. He's also one of my like LFW athletes. Like he wears my gear and reps my brand through and through. Like has the look for work mindset. Very very impressive career in the Marines. Uh, very impressive jujitsu career.
Both are very
Um,
impressive for
yeah,
sure.
like just
Yeah.
a phenomenal man. Great coach, great leader, great competitor, a patriot, a veteran. I don't know how much he told you, but like he's got one lung. Like he's been,
We didn't even get into that stuff.
yeah, no,
Well,
it's if you
that's
like
why.
you got to get more out of him. He probably won't talk about it, but yeah, he's impressive. So him competing for the main event is gonna be epic. Will always like puts on a show, and again, just so kind and respectful, but just ferocious out there as well. Um,
Everybody in every match I've seen so far, I've been excited about, and I'm like
yeah,
looking forward. And I get to commentate. I got like the best seat in the house. I feel I feel like this is super lucky.
yeah, no, it's cool. And then I don't, you probably remember Amy. She was there last time, screaming. She just said hi. But
Tell it, well,
we'll be there.
everybody's watching, so
Yeah,
in the comments say hello back. Super cool, man.
but yeah,
Well,
we're
listen,
we're super excited.
thank you again for doing this. It's always a
Yeah, of
pleasure.
course.